everybody, welcome to another live photography stream. This one might not be as long as the previous ones. I've got quite a lot of stuff to do today, other than my reselling. I'm cutting my grass. I'm about halfway through it, so I thought I'd take a bit of a break and do my photography stream and try and get a few listings ready to go live later on. So I take some photos, hopefully get about 10 things. I like to list around 10 things per day, so it'll be ideal. And then I'll get back to my gardening and then list some stuff later. So yeah, let me have a look in the chat and see who's in. Let me have a look. Here we go. Ali was in first. Hiya Ali, thanks for joining. Haggis Lover was in next. Hiya. Richard's in. Hi Richard. Victoria Plum, hello. Chris Tyler. Hiya, thanks for joining. Gimbal's in. Hiya. I think that's it so far according to the chat. If you're watching this live and you're not in the live chat, there's a live chat at the side and it also shows up on the screen as well eventually. So yeah, feel free to chat amongst yourselves as well as I take photos. As before, the idea of this stream is to have it on in the background, maybe sort of take a look at the screen once in a while if you hear me sort of taking a photo of something fairly interesting. I'm taking my photos anyway. This is basically what I do every day. So on a Wednesday around midday I usually like to go live and just basically take photos of whatever I've got to list. As far as my death piles are concerned, I've still got a lot to list. I've got absolutely loads there, but I'm starting to get to the point now where I can't just walk into my death pile area and see something on the shelf and think, yes, that's worth £20, I'll get that down and list it. Now it's a case of picking up something, I don't know, like that for example, picking up that, having a look at it, seeing what it is, looking up on eBay, and it could be worth nothing. It might not be worth a listing, or it might be worth £50. I really don't know about a lot of stuff. There's still a few things that I know about and I'm putting off. I've got some Lego sets I've got to build, that sort of thing, so I'm really going to have to bite the bullet and start to do that. Because I'm really starting to scrape the barrel a bit of the sort of items I usually list. I mean, there's some good stuff there, but it's not the stuff I usually list, so I don't really know the values. But it's good in a way because I'm learning new stuff all the time as well. Also, a lot of the stuff is sort of vintage trinkets and ornaments and things like that will help me build my Etsy store, which is going fairly well. I wouldn't say it's as good as eBay or anything like that, it's nowhere near it, but I'm getting the odd sale on a weekly basis, which is pretty good for the amount of stuff I've got listed. I think I've got about 30 things on there now. So I'm gradually building it up, and every time I do my sell similar at the end of every 30-day cycle, I'm reviewing what's on there as well and whether I can put that on Etsy as well. And in some cases I take new photos as well. What I've also been doing as well with clothing, some of the clothing I listed a fairly long time ago, I didn't take on a mannequin, I took it sort of hanging up on a hanger against the door. And you can see the door in the background, the door handle, that sort of thing. So I've started to use the app Photo Room. I think Andrea Hills uses it, and I I use that to take away all of the background, so I'll get a plain white background, and it works really, really well. For some reason I don't get the white background thing on the app. I still don't know why. I'm actually getting a new phone, so I'm hoping that it will suddenly appear once I get that, but for some reason it's not on my iPhone app. But yeah, Photo Room's brilliant. It seems to be really easy to use, so I've been using that. And so when I do sell similar on those clothing items, I'm just tweaking the listings and reducing the prices as well. So yeah, let me see if there's anybody else popped in before I make a start on the photos. Chris B's in. I don't think he was here before, so welcome. Thanks for joining, Chris. Chris Tyler's in. I'm not sure if I said hello to Chris Tyler before. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, I'm going to make a start on some photos. So I've got two. This time I've got two microphones going basically at the same time. So I'm hoping when I move around, the sound will still continue to be fairly good. Let me know if it's not. I'm hoping it won't produce any sort of echo, because basically I've got two microphones, one at one side of the room, one side at the other side of the room, but hopefully not. So I'm going to keep this webcam going, I think, this time as well, instead of turning it off. So yeah, I'm just going to pop over to the photography area. So yeah, now I'm here. You should be able to see my hands there. I've got a few things to take photos of this time. Let me just move some stuff around. I'll also turn on my lights. Hopefully, there we go. That's a little bit better. So first off, I think what I'll do. I'll deal with the stuff I've got on my photography area at the moment that I've prepared. I've tried to prepare a few things this time instead of me darting off into the stock room every so often. So I've got a number of things here. First up, if I just move this out of the way, is a bundle of Power Rangers toys. These are all played with condition, and I don't know if they're complete, so I'm basically going to just lay them all out and take a photo of them. I've no idea who they are. Let me know in the chat if you see anything that's particularly rare or valuable. I very much doubt there will be anything, but if anything you think might be worth over £10 on its own, let me know, but I very much doubt it. I'm quite happy to bundle most of this stuff. It looks fairly complete. It's just a case of getting a nice picture of them. I'm assuming all these will be from different series as well. Basically I've got loads of, he looks quite an old one, he looks quite a vintagey type one. If anybody can let me know. And I think they're all fairly vintage, but he just looks a bit sort of basic. But I don't know if there's a, 1996 that has gone, so that's quite an old one. I don't know whether these are, these ones are 2002, whereas this one is 1996, so maybe that's got some sort of added value. If anybody knows, let me know. I'll have a quick look in the chat. chat before I take the photos, just in case this one is worth anything. So it's that one that I'm not sure about. If anybody knows who he is, then I could quickly have a look on Google now, actually. If anybody knows who that is. Let's have a look. Is the stream made in China? No. It's made in Scotland. Quality Scotland produced stuff here. Hiya Tommy, thanks for joining. I was watching Zahir's live stream last night. Quite a few F-bombs being said there, but yeah, I understand his frustration. Oh, you can hear a weird echo. Oh, right, okay. Let me turn off. Right, that should be better. Let me know if that's fixed the weird echo. It's because I've got two microphones, and I've got one basically here where I'm sitting, and I've got one over there. So when I'm taking photos, you'll be able to hear me, but it looks like that's not going to work. But what I do when I sit down, I can just I can just mute one and unmute the other. That's fine. So yeah, this guy here, maybe it would be worth me looking that up. So let me. Okay, so let me search for this. Red Ranger 1996 figure. He's probably not worth anything anyway. That's in there. Yeah, he's. Maybe he's worth something. Let me have a look in the solds. Zeo. Why isn't the solds working? Oh, here you go. Yeah, maybe he's not worth anything. Sword action. He's worth something. Somebody's paid. Some people are paying fairly good money for him. Yeah, I think I'll list him separately then. Can't do any harm, can it? Let me just take a look at the chat. Chop chop, busy busy, work work, bang bang. Welcome to the stream. Let me have a look. Hiya Damien. Hiya Funky UK, Neil. Hi Damien, what's it first thing in the morning? What rant to wake up to? Epic rant from C. Yeah. So the other webcam is making that funny noise. Let me see if I can fix it. Properties. Default. Right, I'm going to turn back on my other microphone. Let me know if the sound is still bad. So let me know how that sounds. Does it sound okay now? Let me know in the chat, see if the echo's still there, see if I still sound really sort of squeaky. Hopefully I don't. The microphone levels look identical. on my screen now. So let me know. Oh, there's a super echo. Oh, right, okay. Okay, so I'm going to turn that microphone off. Hopefully that will work. And I'll just have to use the one microphone. I think the other one is not working right. So yeah, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna switch the microphone to the other microphone now and take the photos. So bear with me. Okay, so hopefully that doesn't sound like Mickey Mouse. Let me know if if the sound's okay. Okay, so yeah, the sound should be better now. If it's not, let me know. And I'm going to take these photos. Take a picture of the front and the back. Just turn these around. These, I think these actually make noises and things as well because they've got batteries in them, but they're probably well dead. Can't hear anything anyway. So yeah, I'm happy to sell them as a bundle. Let me just check the sound. Sound good now. Right, okay, that's good then. So I'll switch the microphones basically when I go back to my chair. So I've got a bundle of these, so they'll be going on. I'm assuming none of those ones were worth listing as a separate thing. I'm going to list this guy as a separate one. Not sure if it's really worth it, to be honest, but yeah, you do that with his. I think he lifts up his gun and does something with his gun, so he might be worth listing separately. Try and zoom in on the date on this one as well. Where it says 1996. Let's do a few zoomed pictures of the condition because he is slightly worn. So I list him separately and I'll put him in that drawer there, so he's separate to the others, and I'll write down where I've put him in my list. So it's CB2, Red Ranger, CB2. Right, and these guys will be going in my tap garage, but I need a bag. Here we go. I'll chuck them in this old carrier bag. And they can go the garage. Okay, so next lot is another digital photo frame. This one's in the box. I think it's actually still new because it's got the thing on there. Oh, there's something rattling. There's something rattling around in there, which is annoying. I wonder if I can get the... Ah, you can take the frame off. Right. So this... Right, there was this little bit of plastic inside the... inside of there. Hopefully that's just a clip. Well, I've just noticed I've left there we go. There you go, sorry about that. I left the screen share on so you can actually see anything. Yeah, this had something rattling inside, so I've just removed that. It's also got a graphics card, SD card inside as well. Hopefully this will work. It's got the power supply. Yeah, looks like it's working. And there's also a stand in here as well, which just screws on like that. So we've got some pictures on here of somebody, so that's obviously the private photo, so I'll take the card out now, but obviously you can see it works. So it's just a case of taking a photo now of it, and I'll actually keep this card in my testing area so I can test other picture frames with it. Right, so put that there, and I'm going to need to take a photo. Actually, I should really clean all this. It's a little bit dusty. I'll sell this as new other. Maybe I'll sell it as used, because it's obviously been used, hasn't it? 'Cause it had the card in it. It had somebody's card in it. Oh, there's a... Right, we'll take the... right. Yeah, it's got the pack tested thing on there as well, which proves it isn't new, so can't sell it as new. So I'll sell it as used. But use the same cable tie that came in the packet as well. There we go. and I've got the instructions as well, so that makes it a nice item, because it does have those instructions, which is always good for this sort of thing. And I'll just take a few snaps with the power supply, the manual. Also want a picture of the stand, so people know that it comes with a stand. Take a picture of the back and the model number there, and what cards it takes as well. That's always a good thing to take a photo of. So that unscrews. Pop all that back in there. And this should sell for around £15. So I've sold quite a few of these in the past. It's got some specifications as well. It's also got a barcode there, which I'll use. Take a picture of those specifications, and yeah, that's ready to go. So that's 3 items so far, which is going quite well. Next up is one of these cassette boxes. This is a tape taxi. Now I get these when I buy cassettes, and they usually have cassettes like that in, like old random cassettes, which I don't buy them for the cassettes, I buy them for these cases. But the price all has to tally up whether it's worth it. But I do fairly well on these cases, and they're pretty easy to list. People like them for their retro computer games. You know, if you've got like a Commodore 64, a Spectrum or something like that, they're quite popular with those guys. And also obviously popular with people who are starting to collect cassettes again, because that's starting to get pretty popular. So it's just a case of taking a few photos from all the different angles. Make sure that you maybe take a photo of it standing up as well, because that's obviously part of its design. Maybe take a picture of the clips, because I'm assuming with time these plastic things will break off, so taking a photo of them and just showing that they're still good is probably a good idea. And when you list this, you just got to say how many cassettes it takes, and that's pretty it. And it will go probably less than a kilogram. Similar item, I've actually got a few of these. Oh god. Of these ones, which is like a bigger version of what I've just shown you. This is a sort of tan leatherette type version, and I even have the key to go with this. So to begin with, I'll take a photo of it on its side, and I always try to lift up the handle, so the handle, you can see the handle in the photo. And this will be my main photo, so I'll put the key there as well, just so people can see the key. And then I'll take a zoomed in picture of the key. Maybe take a picture of the handle of one of the latches there, and then I'll take a picture of the inside, which is pretty self-explanatory, and a zoomed in picture of the plastic I'll put the key inside so it doesn't get lost. Actually, I might take another photo of the key inside there because it's a nicer background. I'll take a picture of it like that as well. That's quite a nice. Might as well use it, your 12 photos if you can. There's not a great deal you can say about this sort of thing. People want to know how many cassettes it takes. That's pretty much it, really. So I've got basically the identical thing again, but this time blue. So I'll basically do exactly the same as what I just did. I wonder if this has a key with it. I'm not sure if it does. Let's have a look. Oh, yes, I've got keys in here. There's actually 2 keys in this one. But the plastic isn't brilliant, so I'll have to declare that. And I'll take a photo of it a little bit rugged, so just to show that, you know, it's not perfect. I think that actually goes that way. I mean, somebody could stick that on if they really wanted to. So I've got a key. Oh. I've got a key. Let me just check the key works. Yeah, the key works. I've got another one down here. This doesn't take a key, so I was just going to check whether I could put the key. So obviously I've got 2 keys here. In fact, I'm wondering I might actually keep one of the keys, and then, because I pick these up fairly regularly, and I can put the other ones that comes with a key then, rather than give them 2 keys. Right, so that's another one done. And the last one is this black one. This is the same sort of thing, but it's slightly different. Hasn't got a key, hasn't got a lock with this one. A bit more of a sort of modern, well, I would say modern design maybe, maybe not. There we go. A few different photos. Maybe take a couple at an angle as well. There we go. So yeah, that's those cases done as well. Let's put them over here. Let me have a look at the chat, see if there's anything going on in the chat. Have a look. Oh, Shazad came in. Oh, hi Shazad. Hope things are going well. Georgina's in. Hiya. I'm 50-50 UK versus GSP at the moment. I haven't checked, but I'm guessing the pound is crap at the moment. Oh, Craig's in as well. Hiya, Craig. I've just put promotions on higher percentage on a load of DVDs I have. Yeah, I do like 1.1% on pretty much everything. Right, so let me get on with a couple more photos. Okay, so I have these Walkmans. Now they're all basically broken. I don't really know what to do with them. In fact, I don't know if this one's broken. Let me get a couple of batteries. Take them out of this one. And the double A's. Hang on. A battery. It doesn't seem to be working. We'll just try another battery because I'm not convinced they might not work. Got so many old batteries and so many new batteries lying around. Oh, right, so this one might actually work. Right, let me go and get my speakers and we'll see if this Walkman works. And I'll chuck these batteries in the recycle because they obviously don't work. I don't know where my speaker set's gone. I was using it the other day, but I've got these headphones that I use when I cut my grass to hand, so I might as well just use those. So let's plug the headphone socket in, find a tape. I've got Phil Collins. See if I can hear him. Oh. Right, there's definitely something wrong. Can you hear that? So that worked. So this is like an auto reverse one as well. You can see it actually changes the direction itself. I'm not sure how it knows. Just going to wind this on, and as I do this, let's have a look and see how much it's worth anyway. Seems to work. I'm not convinced this is working properly. Oh, that works. See how much it's worth anyway. I might need checking. Sony WM-EX344. It's not worth a lot. Yeah, so it's certainly worth something. So it's worth my time basically checking a little bit further. Somebody got £34 there. That looks a lot better condition than mine though. Yeah, it's much better. And I haven't got the clip on the back either. But it does work. I need to do a little bit more investigation. But it does work. So, what are everybody's views on the car boot sales opening? Personally, I think it's a little bit too soon, but I can understand everybody's desire to go. Certainly, so I'm not sure whether this goes with this one or not. I've got this clip here. Yes, it does. Right, so it's now got the belt clip, which is much better. Okay, so I'll give this a little wipe. It's pretty clean already. It's just very scruffy, which is a real shame. Not a lot I can do about that. Oh, let me just turn off the screen share again. There we go. Yeah, so I'll get this one photographed. This is what I was saying about I didn't know whether things were what I've got and you know what things are worth the money, because I'm scraping the barrel of my death piles a bit now. But as this item goes to prove, there is still valuable stuff there. Really need to show the buttons on the top as well, like that, and the model number. I'm just going to do a close-up of that because it isn't in the best of conditions. So yeah, that should be it really. Do one of that side and one of that side as well. Yeah, so I'm going to keep that aside and I'm going to do a little bit more further testing with that, but it looks like it does work. So I've got this one which is missing a back, probably not going to be worth anything on its own, and this one which just looks really rough. It's breaking off there, look. Let's see if it works. I'll just bundle these and sell them as spares and repairs. Yeah, this isn't working. Oh yes it is. It's in really poor condition. Let me put my earphone back on and test this, see if it works. Right, it does work. I think it must have belt issues because the sound's pretty bad. But it does work, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell these as spares. This one looks like a later model. Don't even know how you press play on here. Oh, there you go, it's at the front. Right, so that's it does, well, sort of power on, but there's not doing anything. So I'm going to have a look, see if these are actually worth anything as spares, because they might be, but let's have a look. So this one is a Walkman WM FX23. It's the same as that one there. Obviously this one's very poor condition. £24. Right, so it might have some sort of value as spares. Maybe get a tenner delivered for it. I'll sell it. That's no problem. And let's have a look at this one. This is a, what model is this? EX552. EX 552. That's it there. £30. No power. Somebody sold it for £10. So it's got value. So yeah, I will list these. You have a look at the chat. I'm only here for the swearing. There won't be any swearing on this channel. I'll leave that to Zahir. Zahir's in. Oh, hi Zahir. Yeah, I found it pretty hilarious last night listening to the stream, although I fully sympathise with the issue. Sometimes some companies are horrendous. That was one thing actually. I'm actually fitting a hot tub at the moment, and I needed to buy a hot tub pump, and I found the best place to buy the pump from, and they had their own website, and they also had an eBay store, same price. I'm tempted to go through the eBay store because you do have that sort of protection, can't you? You can just put in a return request if it's no good and send it back. Whereas if you go through their website, they could just tell you to take a hike. Shazad asks, are PS2 games worth the money if they're NTSC-J, which is Japan? Yeah, I would say so. You just got to declare it in the listing. Might be a hard sell, but if they're rarer games it might be worth it. I've actually got some Japan GTA sealed copies, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. Again, they're hard sell, but they are sealed. I've sold some NTSC USA copies of GTA recently, brand new and sealed, and done quite well, and they've gone to UK buyers as well. Yeah, go forward to use it, eBay or Amazon. Yeah, I think you just got the extra protection. I know we sometimes moan about it as sellers, people opening returns and stuff, but if you've got a genuine problem, then it's going to protect you more than somebody's own website with their, like you said in your video, and their own rules, and they can basically do what they want. If you don't like it, you've got to take it up with I don't know, trading standards, I guess. I don't know what would happen if if that laptop company basically just ignored you. What can you do? Right, so let me get these photoed. So I'm going to probably put these on as £10 delivered. And this is the sort of thing I don't like to sell, but I'm getting to the point where all these little £10 sales will add up. And somebody, instead of chucking that in the skip, somebody will want it for spares probably, because it is one of the more expensive ones. Yeah, so I've got that. As long as people read the description, that's the issue. You put this up for a tenner, spares or repairs. Somebody then buys it thinking it's a perfectly good one, get it, and they think, you sent me a load of rubbish, and you have to say, well, look at the description. But then of course you've got the hassle of a return. So I don't usually sell this sort of thing, but it's all got to be listed. You know, for somebody, even that battery compartment lid will be worth it on its own. You know, if they've got a broken lid, so it's a shame just to dump it. I don't want to spend too long listing these things. Right, so next item. I have a Panasonic subwoofer. I think I actually had the whole unit somewhere, but I've had a look for it and I can't find it anywhere, so the time has come to just get rid of this. It could be that this basically got lost and I sold the rest of the unit off in the past, sometime in the past. This needs testing as well. If I could do a really quick test. It's not the best of tests, but it'll do for me to know whether it's worth taking the photos or not, and I can test it properly later. Is I just stick a thing in my iPhone, play a song on Spotify, and just so the speaker does work, so that's good enough for me to actually take the photo of the listing. Don't know how much this is worth. I should remove this sticker really, shouldn't I? It's not coming off. I use the hairdryer. Hairdryer softens the glue. That sticker's been on there a long time. I reckon this has been in my death pile for about 3 years or something. Let's get a few photos of this. You can actually see the speaker behind there as well. Just take a photo of that. Photo at the top. And the back. And the model number. Okay. Right. Got a baby's bottle warmer here. Needs a. It's a bit dusty. It's a bit of a clean. Plug this in and see if it works as well. This has got some annoying bit of plastic floating around in it as well. Can you hear that? I'll take the. I'm going to have to take the back off this as well. Just get a couple of photos of it first. She sold a black version of this a couple of weeks ago. I got from the same stall for about £10, so it's definitely worth me listing this. Let's just check it works as well. Take a photo with the light on as well, because that will help, and I'll see if it gets warm. I'll leave it on for a few minutes. We just check the chat. Aid's in. Hi, Aid. Tech Chat Tom, welcome. Yeah, everybody's loving they can get their unlisted piles reduced into a lot more of a clean state. Yeah, my aim really throughout this sort of lockdown period where I'm listing just out my death piles is to get it to a stage where I've just got my unlisted storage room, and that's where everything's going to be stored rather than having multiple areas of death piles. So that's my plan, and if I can get it down to just that room, I'll be pretty pleased. I do like a little bit of a death pile, but it's got out of hand. So if I can get it to into that state, I'll be really pleased. And I'm getting there. And there's actually quite a lot of empty shelves in there now. I'll have to do a video of the room. Let me have a look. Shazad has a contact that can get me games like Cure and Hunting Ground, etc. Would they be brand new, I guess? Still using it in the garage. Yeah, I could do with a nicer laptop, really. I mean, days like today where it's beautiful weather outside, I'd really love to be able to just sit outside and do a little bit of work. Don't know how that would actually work in practice, whether I'd actually get any work done, but this might be something I think about at some point. Right, let me wonder if that's heated up yet. Let me have a look. Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, it's just a case of dealing with that annoying rattle. It's got a security screw in it as well, so I won't be able to get the back off. What I might be able to do is just there's two screws here and one security one. If I can get it loose enough just to prise the bottom from the casing where it was rattling around inside. It's probably a little clip. I usually find they're just bits of plastic that clip items on, and what you can do if I put I don't want to lose these screws. What you can do, you can basically prise it out like that, so you can just about get enough off to get the plastic bit out. Usually it works. There you go. Yeah, so a little bit of black plastic just rattling around inside. I'm sure it doesn't do anything important. So it's just a case of putting the back on now. Sometimes you get that with game controllers and things like that as well, like the plastic just where something's clipped on, it can rattle around inside. So that's done. I remember there was a nice item I got out. If I can find it, where I put it. Oh, there it is. In there. Let's pop it there. That's it. I'll just put this over here. So, this is a picnic hamper that I got from auction. I'm not quite sure why I didn't list it before now, really, because I'm usually quite quick at getting these listed. But there you go, it's a picnic hamper. It's got various parts to it. Don't know if these are the original knives and forks and stuff. Got a load of cutlery here with it as well. Brixton, yeah, these are the original. These are the original ones because it's a Brixton thing, so they are the original knives and stuff. So I just got to put these back in its the right position, as you can see. That's what it looks like. These don't look in the best of condition, as you can see. There's some damage to the tops of the flasks. They're not broken. I don't know what that sponge is for. There's a random sponge in there. I think that'll probably go in like that. Yeah, that looks. And it's got these teacups and stuff as well. Now should I take this paper out or leave the paper in? I think I might just leave it in. But what I might do is wipe it down because it's got a bit grubby. Actually, I'm going to leave the paper out, I think, and just put them in like this. That will be the photo. I think. I don't think these have a massive amount of value. I did sell one before that was worth quite a bit, but that was quite early on in my reselling. It's probably the time to sell this because people are having picnics, aren't they? They're going out, not obeying the rules, into the parks and having picnics with everybody. Which is obviously pretty bad. But if they're going to do it, they might as well do it with my picnic basket. To take a picture of these flasks with the damage. Take a picture of okay, I'm thinking it's going to be best to wrap those things in bubble wrap now before I break them. At least then they've got some protection when they're in the storage. So we don't really know how long it's going to take for this to sell. Take these off as well. In fact, it will probably do a bit of a wipe. It's quite dusty on the top here. It's got these original buckles as well, which is quite nice to close it with. whether I'm going to. There we go. Right, let's take a photo of it like that. Yeah, so I thought that'd be a nice item for my thing. I've got to be really careful because it's got that ceramic cups in as well. Don't want them to be broken. Right, let me put that there. Let me check on the chat. Let me see. Why is that not working? A pheasant hunter's item. I'd leave the spare chips in there, gives that rustic, I've been used look. Yeah, classic car owners often have having that sort of thing in the back. I can imagine like a Morris Minor or a Mini. I know somebody with a Mini. Maybe he could buy it from the Tap Peddler store. How about it, Richard? It'll look quite good in your Mini, I'm sure. I'll give you a brotherly discount. Yeah, those sort of items. It's the same with my vintage floral chairs I sell. I always put VW Camper in the title because it gets those owners to see the item. I've actually, talking about this, I've actually got a Mini myself, a 1962 minivan. It's in a poor state of repair, it needs full restoration, but I've got a little basket like that and it's got red lining in it. I got it from the auctions, basically the same sort of thing. And the interior of the van, the minivan, is red as well. So I've got this red coated wicker basket thing to go in the back. One day, I think it will be many years before that's on the road, but it's up in the loft along with 4 seats for it and various other little bits and bobs. But yeah, they're good for classic cars, that's for sure. And so is this probably. Maybe not too much of a vintage car, but maybe a 90s model. I don't know what this actually is, whether it's the correct item. It is the actual item, although it's got no wires with it. I might actually leave this. Let me see if it's worth anything, because I have got another radio and that's not worth anything, but it does have the standard connector. I think this is called a DIN connector, which is a standard thing for certain car radios. And this does actually look brand new. But it will need testing. But I'll be able to test that in one of my cars because I've got a car that will plug straight into. Richard wants to buy the picnic basket for £5. Maybe if it doesn't sell, you might regret it. Oh, 2 seconds. I've got got somebody at the door. Be back. Yeah, that was the Hermes driver dropping off an item. Right, so what was I going to do? I was going to have a look at see how much that car stereo was worth. So what we got is a loud punked CD52. Oh, £26. There you go. Be happy with that. So yeah, it's going to be worth me getting the wires. What I will do is I'll get the wires now and take a photo, I think, and then give it a test after. Yes, Gimbal says it will pay you to source the correct wires. ISO-DIN connector, that's the bit that adapts the stereo unit harness to car harness. Yeah, that's the bit I've got. I'm just going to go and get it now. I know where it is, and then I can take a photo of it. Unfortunately, it's not the right type. I thought it was, but it's not. It's a different type. This one is its own thing to that connector, so that's not going to be any good. So yeah, it might be worth me buying one on eBay. I'm sure I've got these bits in my death pile though. I'll have to have a look. Might even have come with that. But yeah, I've got this one. I don't think this is actually worth anything. When it's here, I might as well have a look. It's probably I will list it, but I don't think it's worth anything. £7.89, £16. Oh, somebody got £30 for one there. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe I should list that as well then. In fact, what I'll do, I'll get the other bit that comes with it. I've got the surround for it, I think, and I'll take photos of both of these, and then I'll add the wires in later into the photo. At least then I've got I can test it then and get the photo going. It's got the little cover for it as well, which is quite good. always hard to know how to display something like this in an advert. It's got an equipment pass, which is something to do with the serial number as well. It's not the user manual, unfortunately. But that's all I've got, so that is what I'm going to put with it. So I'll take a photo like that. Take a photo like that, and then a photo with this removed. And that, put that back on. Take a photo of the serial number and the connection at the back, and I'll place it, I think it's polystyrene like that, for that photo, so people can see that it comes in the packaging. And this went on there like that. I'll put the user manual there. It goes like that. And I'll take a photo just like that as well. And I'll pop this back in the box. And when I've got the wire, I can test it. Maybe do a couple more photos with the wire in place, and then it's more or less done then. Right, so that's that. I might make this the last item, guys, because I've got to get back onto my gardening after this. In fact, I might leave that and do that when I get back, because I've got to I've got to sort out the surround on that as well. So let's just have a look in the chat before I go. We're going for hour and a half, which is a little bit more than what I was going to do anyway, so but I've got to get back onto my cutting my grass now. I want to take the opportunity when it's nice hot weather. It's quite nice being out there just chilling out. I'm actually listening to Lonnie and John's podcast they do, Guys Without Jobs. It's really interesting. So make sure you check that out. You can listen to it on Spotify and things, but you can also listen to it on YouTube. They've got their own YouTube channel dedicated just for that podcast. So there's that. There's also something else I was going to listen to as well. I think it was Golden Finger Picker did a live chatting to someone. So I'll probably put them on, because I think I'm nearing the end of that Lonnie podcast. I wonder if Andrew's been out to cut his grass. Yeah, his grasses should be due for a cut again now, so we should get a repeat of his live. Yeah, kicking his mower to get it through the weeds. I'm not convinced he actually finished his mowing from last time. It didn't look finished when I saw his stream. You need a stereo harness. ISO is just an adapter. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got one somewhere. I've got basically a big bag of wires, and I've got all sorts of things in there. My car takes a standard, because I've got two older Mercedes cars, and they just take the standard radios like these. So basically, when I get a radio to test, I just pull them out and plug in what one I'm testing, and I can test it all with all the speakers and things like that. So it works out quite well. don't forget the strimmer needs to be placed backwards and kicked continually. Yeah, I don't usually use my strimmer. I usually have a thought about I'll do it next time, and then I'll come to mow the grass and I can't be bothered to. So I think this time I might actually use my strimmer as well, because it does make a nice job of it. I've also got to do some of the hedges as well, just trim them back a bit. So I've got a fair bit to do in the garden today, which is not great because I think I've only actually made $9.99 delivered on an item of clothing today. So I really need some sales to come in on my store, but it's early days, and I've got quite a few nice things to get listed tonight now, which is good, which is the aim of me doing this live. So yeah, I'm going to call it a day there. Hope everybody enjoyed it, found it useful, and I think is it tonight when there's going to be a good live? Let me just have a quick search. I think it's on Vinegar Jar. Let me just check. 'Cause I'm pretty sure Peter has a live scheduled tonight. Videos, live streams. Yeah, it's tonight at 7:30. Peter, the Vinegar Jar, has some guests. I think he's got, who's he got? He's got Nick Hills on, he's got Tom English Picker, and he's got George Ross on his channel, basically answering questions. So that should be a really good live. So I'll probably see you in the side chat on there. So that'll be good. Looking forward to that. So yeah, I'll see you in there, and then no doubt I'll see you for morning readies again tomorrow. That's getting me up and getting me started each day, which is really good. I'm not sure who's on. I think Peter Ray's on later as well, which is another good channel to subscribe to. So yeah, some good lives on tonight, and hopefully next week I'll do a tap talk on a Tuesday. I've just got to think of a good topic. I was going to do one this week, but I just couldn't think of a decent topic. So if you can think of any topics, drop me a message, because it's hard to think of a topic that isn't about the current situation and things that have already been covered to death elsewhere. So yeah, let me know if you can think of a good topic. Let me know. Anyway, I'm going to get back onto my gardening, so I'll catch you later and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.